So Creighton gets mollywopped by UConn on Wednesday night, number one team in the nation. If you look at the AP poll, they go on the road to take on Villanova on Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time tip. This game off campus at the 76ers Arena, the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia. If you look at Haslametrics ranks, UConn only number 13, despite that AP poll ranking. Villanova number 22. Which makes me curious what the spread of this one's going to be, if it's going to be more in line with, kind of the rankings that the AP poll has. So if we look at the projected spread from Haslametrics, it actually has Villanova favored by less than a point in this one. So Eli, where do you land on this? I think it's just an interesting situation with UConn. They get their big back on Wednesday night. Looked absolutely phenomenal defensively in that game. I mean, it looked like Creighton couldn't buy a bucket for stretches of that second half. Really impressive by my eyes. So, just your initial thoughts on this matchup between UConn and Villanova.
Yeah, I think the thing that surprised and has impressed me the most about UConn is Castle's jump ever since he came back from his injury and non-conference play. Now, he's not providing the shooting that Andre Jackson didn't provide in his own right last year, and Hurley adjusted in the midst of Big East play, and that really propelled UConn to making that national championship run. Cashed on those futures. Castle shooting about 20% from behind the arc. So if that improves, he's a five-star freshman. It could very well improve. It definitely tacks on to UConn ceiling. Also, Donovan Clingan back in the lineup, returned last night and made a huge impact for the Huskies off the bench. We'll see if he starts. But when Clingan is on the floor in this game, that's going to give Villanova an opportunity to really space out this UConn defense. And that's where UConn took advantage, or maybe got a little fortunate with their seeding in the NCAA tournament. Because just based off last night, I think you're going to have a lot of bettors and just college basketball fans saying, oh, UConn is going to repeat and be the first team to repeat as national champion since Florida, going back to the late 2000s or before the 2010. So I think they 2006 through 2008, they won consecutive national championships. But if Villanova can stretch the floor with Eric Dixon, who's shooting just below 36%, and give you that 5-out offense, which Villanova certainly has the capability to do on a nightly basis, especially since Justin Moore is back from that knee injury, returned against DePaul last week. I know Villanova lost at Marquette, but good bounce back spot for the Golden Eagles against the Wildcats on Wednesday night. I make this line at around a pick'em. So assuming Villanova gets Longino back.
No chance this is a pick'em, right? No chance. They'll make UConn like a possession favorite, I would think, even though they're on the road. We'll
Maybe
see.
A point or two. I could see this closing with UConn either being a short favorite or around a pick'em. I'll say that. It may not open at a pick'em, but I would not be surprised if the line gets bet down to where Villanova closes pick -1, just because you're playing at home, even though, like you mentioned, this is at Wells Fargo, and B, Villanova has the offensive advantage to the point that they had it against UConn going back to 2 years ago, before UConn made the leap last season, where they were able to space out Adama Sanogo with Eric Dixon at the 5. That's where Villanova has an edge, and teams typically have an edge. Even though UConn has an elite big in Clingan, he's a little bit slow-footed, and he's not great at closing out, and UConn plays drop coverage, to the same sense that Creighton played drop last night against Villanova, or against UConn, I should say, and Cam Spencer took advantage in terms of UConn's backcourt. So I give the edge to Villanova offensively, and I definitely see the market coming in towards Villanova no matter where this line opens up.
They're a smart offense, too. They rank 42nd in the country in rim and three rate. Villanova does. So you know that they're going to be taking smart, efficient, potentially efficient shots there, high-quality shots. So I like that about Villanova as well. I don't have as big of an opinion on this matchup as you do, but certainly cannot wait to see it. I think it's certainly a spot where you're going to absolutely get Villanova's best effort. You're going to get students coming over from campus on the main line to come to this game against one of the best, if not the best teams in the country, defending national champions. So you're going to get a full effort for this one, absolutely for sure. Even if the the upper deck of the NBA arena is only half full, like it is most of the time for these Villanova games in NBA arenas.